Hey guys, Devin here with Ground Force Metal Detecting. And when I say guys, I mean no one, because no one's here. Let's see. Okay. Hey, so I have no idea if this is going to be any kind of success. Um, I've never done this live on YouTube before. Anyway, I'm just going to start talking here like I'm making a video. I guess I am kind of making a video. It's going to be on my channel, unless I delete it, which I might. Anyway, hey, XP coming out with stereo headphones. What do you guys think about that? Stereo headphones on a metal detector. What's it going to do? What's it going to do? So, what I've heard, okay, is that, it's going to give you a left to right kind of a perception of your target. So as you're going across, instead of a mixed high and low, which the Deus 2 will do, it'll just you'll be able to hear the separation from left to right, like you'll hear the low and the high separated. Now that's pretty cool. Now what else is it going to do? I mean, when I heard stereo headphones on a metal detector, you know, it, uh, you know what I think about? I think about my AirPods on my iPhone, right? My AirPods, and I can put them in a certain mode called let's see, what is it called? I forget what the mode is called, but you put your AirPods in a certain mode, and no matter where you move your phone, it sounds like the music is coming from your phone. Like I can move the phone around, it knows where the phone is in relationship to my head. And if I turn my head like this, the sound stays like still perceive the sound to come from the phone, no matter where I turn my head. Now, wouldn't that be cool if XP did that with metal detecting, so that like you actually perceive the target, you perceive the beep as coming from the ground at a certain spot? Wouldn't that be neat? Now, you know what I mean. So you hear the metal detectors going around. I hear the beep, but I hear it. I heard the beep right there, and I'll be able to perceive where I heard the beep. Wouldn't that be something? If they can do that, that would be cool. And hey, if it doesn't do that, there's my idea, XP. That's what your next software update should be. There should be vi- uh, sound perception, as far as directional perception of where the target was, right? That would be cool. That would be cool. I'm sure that the sound quality is going to be just sort of easier to just sort of be more of a pleasant experience. Said it reduces ear fatigue because you're splitting different sounds into different ears. So that's cool. That's cool. But I still think, just like Apple AirPods do, right? Where I move my head and it sounds like it's coming from the phone. That's what they should do. I don't know if the headphones are going to do that, or nobody knows exactly what these things are going to do. Okay, you know, we just hear rumors, we hear explanations. It's going to reduce ear fatigue. It's going to, it's going to help you hear the separation of iron and non-ferrous targets. So that's pretty cool. Um, you know, what do you guys think? I guess, no one's here, but when you watch later, I'm sure you'll be able to comment. So, hey, comment what you think. You know, the other thing, hey, if you think this is a good idea for me to do live videos, let me know. I'll do it. I'm willing to do it. I think it'd be fun. It'd be a lot more fun if there were 20, 30 people on here, talking to me, rather than me just kind of making another YouTube video. But hey, I don't think I'm going to drag this out too long. I'm going to give it some time for people to join. I'm sure nobody's just sitting around waiting. You know, I'm on the East Coast. It is It's 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, US. So, it's still a decent time across the United States, and I don't know what time it is over in Europe. It's probably morning. Okay, whatever. I don't have my world clock. Wait, no, it's not there. Um, so hey, well, hey, someone joined. Thanks for joining. I'm not getting any kind of notification of who it is. Maybe I don't have it set right. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. Hopefully my audio is coming through nice. I've got a really nice new microphone here, a Shure, um, whatever model that is. It was pretty darn expensive. I know that. So it's a good one. It should sound great. Hopefully that's working well. I got a new computer too. Got a MacBook Pro now, so I was using a kind of a really crappy computer. My early videos kind of look a little rough. Okay, but hopefully this video now, these new ones are going to look a little better. So you don't have to strain your eyes or squint. So hey, let's talk metal detecting. Any let's see, what can we talk about? Um, so I get a lot, man. I mean, I'm on Facebook watching, on these groups, right? I mean, there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of people on these groups, and I'm on multiple groups. I'm on groups across the United States, different and specific groups for states because I travel for work. So I join all kinds of different state groups so that I can kind of, if I'm going to travel, when I travel for work, I take my metal detector on the plane, and because I have some downtime when I travel for work, so I try to take my metal detector around along, and I can kind of metal detect in my downtime in the afternoon, later in the afternoon stuff. Um, and I join the groups to see, just sort of try to figure out where I want to go ahead of time because you don't have much time to decide. So I try to have some kind of place lined up. Um, so anyway, what I see all the time is everybody on there constantly asking, what's a good metal detector for my first metal detector? It's like the most common question that I see every single day, multiple times a day. So I've made a couple videos on that, trying to, help with answering these questions for people. I mean, what I did, my first modern metal detector, okay, I had crappy metal detectors, old ones, right? But my first modern one was a Legend. Couple, whatever it was when it first came out, whenever that was, it was my first modern, pretty good metal detector, right? It was, to me, it was, at the time now I'm digging in and spending some money, right? So got a Legend, and I got it used, right? So the thing about getting a used metal detector is I didn't have any risk, right? I didn't have any monetary risk. Like, I'm gonna go out and spend a bunch of money and it's not gonna I already knew I was gonna use it, but some people don't. They think, hey, I don't want to go out and spend, a ton of money to me. And I don't even know if I'm gonna like metal detecting. Well, the the thing about getting a used one, and I recommend getting in person on Marketplace, for Facebook. Go to find one within 40, 50 miles at the most of your house. Go and go and meet with them. It's a cash deal. Try it out in their yard. Uh, you pay half what the thing would be new, probably. And guess what? If you, on the off chance that you don't like metal detecting, you list it and sell it for the same money. I mean, I could literally list my Legend now, years later, and I got it off a guy who did just that. Bought it brand new. He had money. Okay, he spent the money for the Legend Pro Pack. He bought an XP backpack. He bought extra digger, extra pinpointer, extra, you know, bunch of extra stuff, and I got my Legend for half the price of what a Pro Pack would cost, and he just threw all that our junk in. He's just like, "Here, all this stuff goes with it. I'm not metal detecting. I just don't have time for it." Hey, you that's perfectly great. That's perfectly fine. So my point with all this is that you could list it yourself, and I could literally list my Legend now and come out ahead after having it for years. Okay. Um, the warranty's still good as long as the serial number comes up under 3 years old. 100% warranty is good, and I've seen them cover stuff that's after the warranty date. Okay, so I mean, my Legend, I bought it. I had no receipt, no proof that no proof that I was even the owner. I could have stole the thing. They don't know, right? Well, I turned in for the external speaker. The external speaker went out on my Legend like a week after I got it, so I was kind of pissed off, right? And so I put a warranty ticket in, and 24 hours went by. I didn't hear anything, so I called them. Called Turkey. I didn't know, right? I called Turkey, and when they found somebody that could speak English, they directed me. They told me that they were going to email the United States to the guy in Missouri. He doesn't do it anymore, but the guy in Missouri emailed him. He called me, right? Called me. Hey man, I got a email from XP from XP from Nocta here. What's up? What's up? And I said, well, my speaker went out. And he goes, just send it over to me. And I said, well, what's the turnaround time? I said, I don't, I only have one metal detector that's any good here. He goes, listen, man, if you send it to me, I'll turn it around same day. Same day. I get it. I'm going to fix it and send it back to you. Just send ahead. So I did that, and I also said, hey, my lower shaft, when I put it in and lock it in, it's got a little wobble to it, and it doesn't hurt anything, but it's sort of annoying when you're swinging a metal detector, and you can just sort of feel a little thunk thunk thunk, a little thunking. Anyways, he said, okay, yeah, no problem, no problem. I'm going to take care of you on that. So when I got my head back, I got my head back repaired. Okay. I sent it to him. It took 3 or 4 days to get there now. Okay. Shipping. I had to pay to ship it. And they paid to ship it back. I think. I forget. Yeah, I think so. I didn't get send any money. They shipped it back, and they shipped me a whole brand new shaft, upper, lower, the handle, like the whole everything but a coil and a head. They shipped me the whole shaft. And I didn't have to send the old one back. So you put the old one on the little tiny 6-inch coil because you can't even notice it, and I put the new one on the big coil I use most of the time. Then, since then I've upgraded twice. You know, I'm deep in it now. You know what I mean? I've got the Deus 2. Then I bought a Manicore. Then I bought the HF2 coil. Then I bought the 9-inch Manicore coil. And now I'm buying XP stereo headphones. Okay. I'm ordering them tomorrow. So the update's not out yet. I won't know anything, but I will be on here reviewing them the day the software comes out. I will, as long as I can get out detecting and it's not the ground's not completely frozen. If it's above my metal detecting threshold temperature, which is about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. It's got to be 40 degrees. If it's below 40 degrees, I mean, I might go out for a little while, little bit. If I'm really jonesing the metal detect, it's been, if it's been really, really cold and then it gets up to 36, 37 degrees, I might go out for a little bit, but I can't, it's just not enjoyable. It's just not enjoyable. It gets windy, and I like it to be about 50. To enjoy it, I like to be about 50 degrees or higher. Till it gets to be about 90 degrees and you're really sweating, you're out there digging and stuff. I still do it. I do it 90. I do it 100 degrees. I don't care. I have measures to keep myself cool. So, hey, I got two people on here, but I don't know how to tell. Oh, audio. Okay, I got it. I got a message. Audio is great. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I can see. Hey, Thunderchild 882. I don't have my glasses. Hmm. Well, I am totally unprepared visually, but I can see it if I kind of do my little zoom in here. But hey, I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel too. I just hit 500 subscribers, so not making any. I'm doing this for fun, and hopefully one day to actually monetize the channel. Hey, I'm halfway there. Whatever takes, however long it takes. I do this for fun. I like hearing the comments. I like helping people, right? And I like making videos in response to questions that I see on Facebook. I'll see a question on there, and I'll knock out a video and go back and reply to their question with this, "Hey, I just made a half-hour video that took me 3 hours to make." Especially if you see the ones that are edited out and have like little window or picture in picture of the metal detector, and yeah, that takes a little bit. I'm not super fast with editing. I'm using Final Cut Pro, but which is nicer now that I got this new computer. I got a MacBook, Final Cut Pro, so it makes it much cleaner and nicer editing videos than it did on my old PC, which was very clunky, very slow, froze up, love to freeze up at the most inopportune time. Uh, it would freeze up, and or I'd be making a video and I'd look up and it wasn't recording, and I'd be kind of like, huh, I like that take too. So, anyways, what are you guys doing? Where are you guys from? I'm in Pennsylvania in the United States. I have no idea I have no idea, where you guys are right now. Um, I'm right outside of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So, bunch of Civil War activity where I live. I have Amish people that drive by my house on the daily. So that's always fun for my dog. He just hates horses. So yeah, I get to hear him bark and go ballistic a couple times a day when he hears, and you can hear him, clomp 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 clomp. You can hear a horse coming up a blacktop road about a quarter mile away, just in case you didn't know. Um, I guess everybody knows. Who doesn't know? Oh, hey, yeah, I've seen one of them horses before. Yeah, I know. I, sometimes things just come out of my mouth, and forgot to pass it through my filter. My filter's broken in life anyway. So yeah. Um, so we've been getting some rain here lately. I'm sure you want to hear me talk about the weather. Um, I don't know. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about something metal detecting. My latest find was this. My latest find was this buffalo nickel that's here in my pocket. That's my wallet. Uh-oh. Well, it was in my pocket. What did I do with that? Huh. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find that bad boy. It was real crappy buffalo nickel. Um, it was almost wore completely off, no year, but it's in this. I detect a lot in this baseball field. It's like 5 minutes from my house. there's a baseball field that has been a baseball field since early 1900s, and they used to have fairs in this baseball field. There used to be carnivals and fairs there. So I find a bunch of stuff. But even before that, it was something because there's areas there where I found like I found that's where I found the oldest coin that I've ever found, which it's not that old, okay? Especially if you guys are in Europe, this is not going to sound old, but it was an 1812 large cent. So for me, that's old because I can't seem to find anything that old around here. Um, so I found an 1812 large cent right in center field in this baseball field. So I have permission. I have permission. I dig holes right in the baseball field, right where it's, but you know, the thing about doing such a thing is you have to be able to dig a perfect plug. Okay, and I'm like an artist. Okay, I'm like an artist. I dig. I use a hand when I'm in any kind of park or anything. I'm only using a hand digger. Okay, so I serrate and sharpen the sides of all my diggers. Okay, I grind down the sides of my diggers, and they're like daggers. Okay, don't try this at home. I think I said it in one video. Don't try this at home if if they don't let you around sharp objects, don't do this. Okay. But I stab it into the ground and I like cut like I'm cutting a piece of cake. I cut a circle and let just leave a piece like, yeah, leave the piece, make a horseshoe. And I flip it over. I flip over just the top like I'm cutting sod, actually. I just go about 3 inches deep, cut the top sod off, flip the sod over. Then I have a rag, and I put a rag that's about 24-inch rag, and I dig all my dirt out onto the rag. All right, I dig my dirt out with my hands and the digger. I dig and dig, use my pinpointer, find my target. In there, that 12 cent. I mean that large cent. That large cent's on a live video actually, and I'm in that baseball field that I'm talking about. I made I was live on the GoPro when I found that 1812 large cent. Um, and it's a video on there. It's last year, last summer. I know it was summer because I know I was sweating my butt off trying to find that thing. Um, yeah, because it ended up being like in the side of the hole after I was digging and digging, and I couldn't figure out what the heck. But anyways, I think there was something else there before that was ever even a baseball field. I think it was like a farm. Well, it was all farmland before. At one point, everything around here was farmland. Um, and before that, it was nothing. But when they settled here where I live in the 1600s. Okay, or late 1600s, like very early 1700s. If you look up I'm actually in a town called Littlestown, PA, Pennsylvania, which is older than Gettysburg. Okay. Littlestown is older than Gettysburg. It's the first settlement in this county. And they settled this Littlestown in the early 1700s. I forget, 1710 or something like that, 1708. But, anyways, it was all farmland at first. But there was, I don't know when they built this baseball field, but I find Indian or buffalo nickels in there. I found a bunch. I found a bunch of buffalo nickels there, mercury dimes, a lot of mercury dimes, a lot of wheat pennies. I don't think I found any. I don't think I found any quarters in there. Old ones, um, or halves. But I found a lot of mercury dimes, a lot of Wheaties, and a lot of buffalo nickels, and then that one large cent. It's a pretty cool place to metal detect. There's like this old tot lot there too, uh, that's been there the whole time since at least the 50s. I know I can go on an aerial photo. Okay, historicaerials.com made a video on this too. Um, I go on old aerial photos and I can see where this baseball field used to be. It used to be there in 19. You can go back to 1957. Okay, I could see an aerial photo of today in 1957, and I know it was there prior to that. So anything I can see that was there in 1957, and it was some sort of public area, a park or a baseball field or whatever. If I would metal detect it in 1957, I can see where it's at. That's a good place to find silver coins. Okay, you know, public areas, and they used to have, they didn't have fairgrounds dedicated back in the early 1900s. They used the baseball fields, they used their schoolyards, they used whatever. They didn't have a fairground fenced off. Well, I'm sure they did here and there. York, Pennsylvania has one of the oldest fairgrounds in the United States, and that's the next county over from me, because you can't metal detect in that fairground. It's still an active fairground. They don't let you go in there and dig in there, but Pennsylvania does let you dig in the state parks, though. Fayette County, PA. Hey, how's it going? Fayette County, sniff it out. Cool, cool name. Did you know that Pennsylvania state parks allow metal detecting? You aware of that? So all state parks fall under the website where you go in there, PA State Parks website. I don't know what it's called, but you'll see it. So any state park in Pennsylvania, you go into their office and you present a driver's license. They give you a paper, you fill it out, and it's free. And they'll give you a permit to metal detect in the park. And yeah, there's like a couple areas, like the park that I go a lot around. The closest one to me, it's called Codorus State Park, and that's there's a couple areas where there's still like a historic farmhouse there, and they have little clauses on the permit. Hey, you're not allowed to detect here. You're not allowed to detect over here. But hey, like swimming areas and stuff, wide open. You can go detect around the swimming areas where people were out hundreds and thousands of people a year, crowded through there. Jewelry and stuff like that, if you're looking for that. So I have like different modes of metal detecting. Like I'll go out and I'll have a different mindset. If I'm looking for old coins, I'm not going to the same place that I do if, hey, you know what, I feel like looking for jewelry, right? In a park. That's a whole different tool to use actually. So I kind of use the HF2 coil for the jewelry. It is, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's not as deep as the regular 9-inch coil, but I've seen it hit things really deep. Just doesn't seem to find, like, most of the stuff I find is pretty shallow with it. But I've seen where I was with, matter of fact, again, there's a video on this, but we hit a dime that was like 18 inches deep, and the HF2 was hitting it at the beach, which was incredible. It was incredible. Coastal North Carolina, awesome. Huh. Oh man, that's awesome. Like um, I'm I've got like brain fog all the time when I try to. I can't never remember what I'm trying to think of. I know where you. I know. We go vacation in North Carolina, Outer Banks. Outer Banks. Yeah, so we go there sometimes. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice there. It's nice there. This past year, my family and I, we went to Delaware, to a place called Coin Beach. Have you guys heard of this? Um, so you go to Delaware, and Google this, okay? Coin Beach, Delaware. There's a shipwreck 100 yards offshore. You can't see it. 100 yards offshore in the 1700s, a ship went down carrying even a sign there documenting it and stuff. 400 barrels of copper coins. You're not going to find gold, but you're finding these old copper Spanish coins that wash up on the beach. Okay. So my daughter and I, we went to Coin Beach. We walked probably a mile up and down, one way up and one way down the beach. You ever walk a mile on loose sand? That's like walking 20 miles, okay? With a metal detector, swinging and I would say digging holes, but we weren't because we didn't find a stinking dang thing. Okay, there were no targets. We did not find. I think I found a quarter. Like we didn't find crap. Um, but that being said, I do know people that went there and found it's all luck of the draw. And it was even the conditions were good. Like there was not fresh sand. There was cutting. There was dark sand showing. I thought, man, this is lucky. This is my lucky day. I got here, and conditions look good for finding these old coins. Nope, nope. Didn't find a thing. Didn't find a thing. Uh, the Coin Beach, Delaware. Check it out. What I did find though is Coin Beach is where we were staying. We took our camper out there and we stayed right north of Ocean City, Maryland. So Ocean City, Maryland borders it's right on the border of Delaware, and then Coin Beach like a half hour north of that. So we drove like up to Coin Beach, but we went metal detecting on Ocean City Beach, and and there this year I actually found a an 18 karat gold pendant. Okay, so it's a 4.8 gram pendant. So I already went to I already went and priced it like right now. Actually, not right now. With like a month ago's pricing was about 450 bucks. So that's 18 karat, 4.8 grams. And at the time, gold was maybe 3,500. Now what is it now? It's 4,500. What is gold now? I don't even know. You can't even keep track. The coins were Dutch. They are 7 feet deep. Wow. No kidding. Maybe it was Dutch. Yeah. Huh. 7 feet deep. Well, I know a guy that found some. That I know a guy that went there and he found some. They weren't, he didn't have a backhoe. Um, they sometimes are found. It depends. The depth would depend, right, on whether they just freshened the sand. Like I said, when I was there, there was black sand. I mean, it was washout. There were cuts and washout in the beach where it was dips, and you'd see the beach come down and then a cliff, and then washout. So I thought the conditions were going to be good, and they were, but no, I just didn't have any luck. And we weren't gridding the beach or anything. It was my daughter and I. We were just bebopping in a straight line up the beach in the wet sand, but not in the water either. Um, so we were just sort of bebopping up the beach and showing my daughter how to metal detect and stuff. It was a vacation fun thing. It's still fun. It was still fun. We got some exercise that day. Probably lost a couple pounds. It was healthy and fun. Who else we have here? We were up to 4 people, and now we're back down. Well, hey, listen, been on here. We're at 34 minutes. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you folks coming out or signing on or clicking the video. Appreciate it. Nice talking to you. Hopefully, my random talkage here was at least somewhat of interest. But let me know. Comment on here like what kind of things I can talk about when I go live. I mean, it's kind of like I guess I could just do the same type of things I do when I make a video, but I was just sort of this is very random. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to click the freaking button and I'm going to talk. This was totally unrehearsed. No idea what I was going to say. I was just pretty much going to test the microphone for 5 minutes, but here we are at 35 minutes. Have a good one. Have a good night, y'all, and take care. And I'll see you next time. I'll probably do this again. Maybe at some point I will actually schedule them. I have to get a little better at it and figure out what I'm going to talk about, though. I want to have a little bit of structure next time. Have a good one. Swing away. See ya.